In this installment, we're going to be going over the MLB bet slate for Sunday, July 21st. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our July 21st MLB slate we got going on for Sunday. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNestJetsD. Also, don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91, and don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 7.07 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we are well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. Continue to like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm so we can grow to a broader audience, all right? Now, also, for that Patreon, that link is provided down below. You're also getting access to daily bets. You're also getting access to the futures and access to the community chat that is going off each and every day, 24/7. So sign up right now. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and Sign Up Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. First game up on the slate for Sunday, we have the Minnesota Twins 54-42 going against the Milwaukee Brewers 55-42. Looking at the current odds right now, we have the Twins as home favorites, -160 on that money line with the comeback of the Milwaukee Brewers at a +135. Total runs set at 8.5. For that public bet percentage here, 89% of the bets are on Minnesota, but 67% of that money is coming in on Milwaukee here. So we have a public underdog here in the Milwaukee Brewers. Looking at the total runs, we have 98% of the bets, 97% of the money towards the over 8.5. For the pitching matchup, Aaron Savale, 2-7 with a 4.94 ERA, going up against Joe Ryan, who is 6-6 with a 3.53 ERA. For this matchup here, Joe Ryan has been really good this year, strong at home, where he pitches better. Only blemish to him, if we're looking at his numbers, is going to be power to righties. That's the only issue that he's been giving up, is just power. Other than that, we have low average and low whip to both lefties and righties. So he's looking like a strong candidate for the Twins here. Aaron Savale, he was recently acquired by the Milwaukee Brewers in a trade. Obviously, as you can see, he has that Tampa Bay Rays hat on his head there. And since he's come over, he had a decent start against the Dodgers, but he gave up 4 earned runs, but that's the Dodgers offense. He bounced back against the Pirates in his second start. 6 innings, 6 Ks as well, and no earned runs. So maybe he could still be pitching over his head because obviously he's just newly acquired. He's motivated in this spot here for the Milwaukee Brewers. So that's definitely something to look forward to for Aaron Savale. His issue is home runs, and that's both to lefties and righties. So this spot here, I would still consider the under on the total of 8.5. I think that's pretty high. So I like the under because I like Joe Ryan at home. Savale has been solid. He might give up a home run here or there. But when it comes down to who's going to win this game, give me the Minnesota Twins on the money line and the under 8.5. Next up in Nationals Park here, we have the Washington Nationals 45-53 going up against the Cincinnati Reds here 47-51. For the Nationals at home, they are -120 on that money line with the comeback of the Cincinnati Reds at a +100. Total runs set at 9. For that public bet percentage, 63% of the bets, but 70% of the money here coming in on Cincinnati. So we have another situation here where we have a public underdog here coming in heavily on that red side. For the total runs, 97% of the bets, 98% of the money towards the over 9 runs. All right, for this pitching matchup here, Andrew Abbott is 9-6 with a 3.39 ERA, going up against Jake Irvin, who's been really solid this year, 7-8 with a 3.49 ERA. Now, Jake Irvin here has been a surprise to this rotation of the Nationals. The Nationals in a whole, they've been playing better than what was expected here. So he has very low numbers against with low average and low whip to both lefties and righties. But his main concern here in the last 2 games before the All-Star break, he got lit up heavily. And when I mean heavily here. We're seeing some issues in the last 2 games, 12 earned runs, 10 innings pitched. And in those 10 innings, he gave up 4 home runs. So he's been getting lit up in back-to-back games. Both of those games with 6 earned runs. Could he be unraveling? That's going to be the big question mark right now for Jake Irvin. Andrew Abbott on the other end. The Nationals have hit him well so far in his career, and his issue is going up against righty power in this lineup. He's given up a 1.71 home run per 9 to righties. So this is a spot where I like the over. I'm going to agree with the public. Give me the over on the total runs. I'm expecting Irvin to bounce back. Abbott has been one of the stronger pitchers as well for the Reds. So I like the over on the 9, but give me the Cincinnati Reds. Andrew Abbott has been the ace of the Cincinnati Reds so far this year. So give me Andrew Abbott, I think, is the better pitcher. We'll take them as the underdog and the over on the 9 runs. Next game in Rogers Center here, we have the Toronto Blue Jays 44-54 going up against the Detroit Tigers 49-50 here. Looking at the current odds, we have the Blue Jays as home favorites -155 with the comeback of the Tigers at a +125. Total runs set at 8 for the public bet percentage. 74% of the bets on Toronto Blue Jays, but 99% of the money here all over the Tigers. So this is the largest public underdog that we have on the slate as of right now. So this is a major concern right now. So we're gonna full fade. I don't like when I see that. So we're gonna definitely watch this line. If it doesn't move towards the Tigers, then that's a big question mark. And the Blue Jays are very solid on that line for this game here. If we're looking at the total runs, 98% of the bets, 98% of the money towards the over 8 runs. In this starting pitching matchup here, we have 2 pitchers that have pitched poorly this year. All right, Kadir Montero 1-2 with a 5.47 ERA. Kevin Gossman is 7-8 with a 4.50 ERA. Looking at Montero here, he's a righty who can't pitch to righties. He's given up putrid numbers: a 2.79 home run per 9, a 1.66 whip, and the xFIP is almost at 6 at 5.83. All right, for Kevin Gossman, he has extreme home road splits. His home ERA is a 7.19. That is god awful. And when you're looking at his numbers against lefties at home, it's a 2.28 home run per 9, a 314 batting average, a 1.99 whip, and the xFIP is almost 5 at 4.98 as well. So across the board here, this is a spot where I like the over on the 8 runs. I think if we're looking at both pitchers here, I think the better pitcher is clearly Kevin Gossman. Kadir Montero recently called up. He's not, he doesn't have any pedigree at all. Kevin Gossman, at least he could hopefully have a better game at home. That's going to be the hope here. So give me the over on the 8 runs. And if I had to choose one, like I said, that public money as a public underdog here for the Tigers, that scares me a lot. Give me the Blue Jays on the money line. Next up in progressive field here, we have the Cleveland Guardians going up against the San Diego Padres. Guardians are 59-37, and the Padres are 50-50. Looking at the current odds right now, Guardians are slight home favorites, -115 on the money line, with the comeback of the Padres at a -105. For the total runs, we have it set at 8 for the public bet percentage here. 80% of the bets, 82% of the money, all over the Guardians here for the total runs. 100% of the bets and money on the over 8. So that's very questionable when you see the bets and the money that heavily one-sided towards the over, because we have a very solid pitching matchup here. Michael King, 7-6 with a 3.41 ERA, going up against Ben Lively here for the Guardians, who has been phenomenal. 8-5 with a 3.58 ERA. Ben Lively loves to pitch at home. This is his strong suit with a 2.55 ERA at home. He dominates against lefties. He has strong numbers against righties as well, but his main issue is going to be power to righties, all right? A 1.74 home run per 9 to righties. So the power bats on the righty power bats on the side of the Padres are in a good spot. Michael King has similar home road splits, strong on the road here. 2.74 ERA on the road. He's given up a low average, a low whip to both lefties and righties. His issue, similar to Ben Lively, is power to lefties, though. Well, to lefties and righties. So lefties is a 1.13 home run per 9, and against righties is a 1.19 home run per 9. So that's going to be the main concern if we're talking about the total and the over, is both of these guys can give up a home run here or there, right? But I'm going to just stick with, go against the grain here and stick with the fact that these are the strong suits of both pitchers. Give me the under on the 8 runs and give me the Guardians on the money line here. Ben Lively at home has been phenomenal, and his record at home has been phenomenal as well. I think they eventually get to Michael King, or if not, they'll definitely get to that bullpen. Next up in Lone Depot Park here, Miami Marlins 34-64 going up against the New York Mets 50-47. We have an NL East battle here. Current odds here: Mets road favorites -150 with the comeback of the Marlins at a +125. Total runs set at 8.5. For the public bet percentage, 73% of the bets, 59% of the money on the New York Mets side. Total runs, 99% of the bets, 99% of the money towards the over 8.5. For the starting pitching matchup, Christian Scott, 0-2 with a 4.36 ERA, going up against Trevor Rogers, 1-9 with a 4.72 ERA. And this is a spot here we always take advantage. Mets against lefty pitchers here, and Trevor Rogers is not a good lefty. As you can see, looking at that record and the ERA, big question marks across the board. This is a very bad lefty here. If we're looking at some of his numbers, against righties, he's given up a 281 batting average, a 1.55 whip, and the xFIP is at 4.42. All right, he will see some lefties as well. On this side of the Mets, he's given up a 298 batting average to lefties and a 1.94 whip, so almost a two whip there per inning. Okay, Christian Scott has been okay. He's been very mediocre, and he's given up something in each and every start. He's either given up 2-3 runs here and there. He does have an issue with lefty. So this game here, I like the over on the 8.5 between the Mets and the Marlins. They've been putting up runs anyway in this series. At the beginning of the series here. And his issue, Christian Scott, against lefties, a 1.86 home run per 9, a 333 batting average, a 1.66 whip, and the xFIP is almost 6 at 5.57. So this spot here, love the over on the 8.5, but give me the Mets here. I think it's just too much firepower. They have the better situation going up against a worse pitcher in Trevor Rogers. So Mets on the money line. Next up in Wrigley Field here, we have the Chicago Cubs, 47-52, going up against the Arizona Diamondbacks, 50-48 here. Current odds, we have the Chicago Cubs as home favorites, -135, with the comeback of the Diamondbacks at a +110. No information on the total as of right now, but with these two pitchers, with Brandon Paftor and Shada Imanaga here, I'm going to guess around that 7.5 to 8 total. All right, it always depends on the weather in Chicago. If that wind is blowing out, then the total is going to be in that 9 to 10 range. Okay, for the public bet percentage, just the money line, 85% of the bets, 91% of the money on Chicago here, and that's because they have their ace on the mound. All right, starting pitching matchup here, Brandon Paft here, 4-6 with a 3.97 ERA. Imanaga 8-2 with a 2.97 ERA. Imanaga has been absolutely phenomenal coming over to the States here and pitching for the Chicago Cubs. He's been as good as advertised here with a very, very high K rate. But his a little bit of an Achilles heel here is going to be his numbers against righty power. So some of these Arizona bats will be in a spot where they can take advantage. And if that wind is blowing out, then that definitely is a boost to them if we're looking at some home run props. Okay, Brandon Pfaff has struggled on the road, and his main issues is against lefties. He's given up a 1.29 home run per nine, a batting average at 305, a whip at 1.61, and the xFIP is at 4.33. So cause of concern here on the Diamondback side. The Cubs have been struggling against these Arizona Diamondbacks. This is a spot where they do not want to get swept at. So give me the Chicago Cubs here with their ace on the mound. Give me them on the money line at the minus 135. And I'm going to go with the under on the total, whatever the total is going to be posted. All right. Next game up in Globe Life Field here. Texas Rangers 46-51 going up against the Baltimore Orioles here 59-38. We have a pretty even number here with the odds. Orioles and Rangers minus 110 on both sides. Total run set at 9. All right. So for this game here, public bet percentage, 88% of the bets, 100% of the money, all over the Orioles here. Is a very one-sided matchup. For the total runs at 99% of the bets, 99% of the money towards the over 9 runs. So as you can see, the public and the sharps are coming heavily on that Orioles. That's making this line literally even. We could see some movement where it just favors the Orioles when we come into Sunday morning and closer to first pitch. Okay. Starting pitching matchup here, Dean Kramer 4-5 with a 4.38 ERA going up against Andrew Heaney 3-10 with a 3.79 ERA. For the Orioles here, and Kramer, he pitches absolutely phenomenal on the road with a 2.73 ERA. He's given up a below 200 batting average to both lefties and righties, and below 1 whip to both lefties and righties as well. So great numbers across the board here. The little slight blemish is going to be lefty power here for the Texas Rangers. They have an opportunity to get to Kramer. All right, Andrew Heaney has been solid this year, but his main issue is straight power. He's given up home runs at a very high rate to both lefties and righties. Lefties is a 1.50 home run per 9. Righties is a 1.34 home run per 9 for looking at that power department here. So Heaney, low average, low whip, but a lot of home runs. That's why he has 10 losses here. Either Texas Rangers are not coming up with runs with him, or he's killing it for himself where he's giving up home runs. And we already know this Orioles team here has a ton of power from top to bottom here. So that's not a very good matchup for him. Give me the Orioles an opportunity to sweep this series here against the Rangers. I like them on the money line. And for the over-under, like I said, there is a possibility for a lot of runs to go here. But with the low average and low whip for both of these pitchers, give me the under 9 in the total. Last but not least, we have the LA Dodgers here. 57-41 going against the Boston Red Sox 53-43. Phenomenal matchup between these two guys. They're going at it right now as we speak in the top of the 9th inning here. So interested seeing who's going to be able to win that matchup there on Saturday, and we could have a rubber match here on Sunday. For the Dodgers, minus 120 on that money line, with the comeback of the Red Sox on the road at a plus 100. Total run set at 9. For the public bet percentage here, 72% of the bets towards the Dodgers, 53% of the money towards the Dodgers. We're coming in with some sharp and public here coming in on the side of the Red Sox, looking at the percentage of money. All right, total runs, 74% of the bets, 77% of the money towards the over 9 in this matchup here. We have a phenomenal matchup. Cutter Crawford, 6-7 with a 3.04 ERA. James Paxton, a lefty, 7-2 with a 4.38 ERA. All right, so Crawford, he's been on fire, shutting down the Yankees and the Royals in his last 2 starts. He's been very, very impressive this year, coming on strong as one of the better pitchers in this rotation between him and Tanner Houck. All right, his issue is going to be power against lefties in this Dodgers lineup here. He's getting up a home run per 9 to lefties at a 1.55. Okay, James Paxton has been elite at home. Very strong ERA with a 2.67 ERA. His numbers are a cause of concern when you're looking at his xFIP, which is currently at a 6.51. But that takes out the fielding advantage of the Dodgers, and it boosts up if he has a very high home run per nine, if he's giving up too much power. So that's the difference there. The Dodgers defense has been saving James Paxton because he's given up a 35% ground ball rate and a 46% fly ball rate. The defense is very strong on the Dodgers side. That's been keeping the numbers low for James Paxton, especially at home. So I'm going to be continuing with this Dodgers defense backing up Paxton. I like him in this spot. I think this is a pitcher's duel across the board. So give me the under on the 9 runs. And for a team to win, I'm going to have to lean towards the LA Dodgers here. If we're talking about weaker bullpen, who can get to them and going up against these strong bats here, I'm going to be going with the side of the Dodgers to come through late. So Dodgers money line under on the total runs at 9. That's going to be the top play. All right, those are our plays for the slate on Sunday. Let me know in that comment section down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have some props? Are there other stacks or other parlays you want to talk about in that comment section down below? Definitely hit me up down there. If you want to have access to that Patreon, okay, we've been hitting on home run props as well. Sign up. Go to that link provided down below for the Patreon. I have NFL futures I just dropped. I have the MLB future that I just dropped. So all that is in there right now. Sign up this very second. And I'll be back with another video very soon. All right. Peace out.